Project 468 is about connecting story and place. When I moved to Lopez Island, I was amazed by how many people, even in the Pacific Northwest, had never heard of this place. There was nobody dedicated to telling the stories of this community, which, as it turns out, is pretty rich in stories. Well, I wanted to fill that gap, and I called it Project 468. So I started by deploying a new mobile platform called Mixby, so that visitors to the island had a way to easily discover new places and the stories behind those places. I populated Mixby with information about Lopez and installed beacons all around the island. This triggered notifications for people when they got close to the places they needed to know about. I created Project 468, the blog, to document this process, knowing I'd probably come across some pretty interesting stories along the way. Well, the blog quickly took on a life of its own and became really more of a diary for Lopez Island.
The idea of Project 468 I think is a really cool idea. The first time I saw it was someone did a Facebook share of the flip post. And so I read it right away and I was like, wow, who is this guy? This is really cool.
468 is a great introduction to the island. It gives you, his blog gives you kind of an insight into people that are new to the island as well as people that have been here for a long time.
Businesses loved it because the stories were humanizing their businesses.
We love Project 468 and what Tim Fry's been doing. It's been great for us, and it's been a lot of fun to track the stories and see what folks are up to that we had no idea was going on the island. The story that Tim did on us, we used it as a calling card. We sent it to all of our relatives across the country. They all loved it.
The way that he can get a background story on a specific place, whether that's an oyster farm or whether that's an organic farm or a restaurant, to be able to put that together. He's one of the best that I've seen at it, and just the way that he coordinates and puts that together in a community setting, couldn't be anybody better for us to partner up with than 468.
People on and off the island are downloading Mixby, sharing my posts, and even pitching me stories to write about. The Island's Weekly started running my stories in the newspaper. The radio station interviewed me and even asked me to do my own Project 468 radio show. And pretty soon I found myself producing a documentary on the tour to Lopez. Lopez Island had become a studio. And as a result, I think Lopesians feel a lot more connected to their story and the place they live. And the community has been able to create more connections with the people. The tourists, the customers, the people who really need to know that story.